Yeah, I'm Kirk Monroe, know half of you, so Senior Business Development Manager with Altair out of our Huntsville, Alabama office. Wanted to talk about for a few minutes PBS Professional, PBS Works, and powerful cloud solutions. Let me see if this clicker is going to work in advance for me. Is this?
Space bar.
Okay.
Should. Had technical difficulties today.
Yeah, I'll just do space bar there. Okay, yep. So a little bit about Altair. We were founded, as you can see there, in 1985. Actually, as an engineering consulting company, we still are that today. The global footprint, as you can see, close to 70 offices in 24 countries, annual revenues posted there. We have over 2,000 employees, closer actually to about 2,500, of which there's several computer scientists, engineers, creative thinkers, forward thinkers, very large customer user base, global footprint there as well, with 5,000 clients over that, and as well as 60,000 users. Our philosophy, again, being an engineering consulting company with a focus on HPC, of course, but is to message here, and I won't read this to you, but is to come alongside of our clients, understand where they're trying to go, what they're trying to do through the research, the development process, and apply simulation technology, machine learning, HPC throughout the entire research or product life cycle. We work with some of the best, to say the least, going back to that global footprint that I talked about. We're corporately and globally headquartered in the Metro Detroit area, so we were founded and grew up in automotive. We've diversified and stretched from there over the last 30 plus years. But as you can see, aerospace, heavy equipment, government, defense. And the neat thing about this, and Phil, I hope, are you guys on? Okay, you're on there, aren't you? Okay. Neat thing about this is that, again, using that philosophy to come alongside, to understand the client's needs, requirements, and help them apply technology to address that. We strive to be a valued and a strategic partner, not just, throwing in some software, implementing that, and moving on. Altair has a couple of arms to the business, if you will, and several fingers, but all wrapped around cloud computing and HPC. So simulation-driven design. So what does that mean? Applying optimization for low weight, that type of approach up front, multi-physics. So pre and post processing, simulation analysis for modeling, simulation, structural, implicit, explicit, linear, non-linear, and into the digital twin realm, as well as machine learning. And all these applications are Altair tools, things that we've developed over the years, again, by being an engineering consulting company, that feeding into the development cycle. And kind of the reason I've repeated that a few times here today as being an engineering consulting company. We're more than just a software vendor and applying technology for our customers, as well as in our consulting areas also. So one of the big suite of tools that we have, and we will get to the HPC and cloud messaging here in just a moment, and I promised the SUSE folks that I'd help them get back some of their time. They're running behind this morning, so I don't think we'll have a problem doing that. But Altair HyperWorks is a suite that is utilized, as I mentioned a moment ago, to take in your CAD data, run the simulations on that, again, for structural analysis, the weight reduction, all types of multi-physics, CFD, electromagnetics, you name it. It's a very large suite with over 150 tools that are included in there. Talked about it again, so I'll just breeze through this, but again, the areas that we touch. An important message here is that works on the SUSE platform as well, all of our tools and a partner solution for Altair. Kind of with the overview of Altair, quickly moving through that. PBS Professional, that actually came out of, as you can see there, NASA Ames in 2003. We were a customer at that time, and took that on, commercializing it. The backbone has been and remains to this day PBS Professional for workload management and job scheduling. And I'll go into some of these others as well to talk about what we're doing from traditional job scheduling for HPC, as well as the ever changing and evolving focus on cloud itself. So we have a suite of tools, if you will, and also mentioning that PBS Professional is dual licensed. So we do have a open source branch as well as a commercial branch also. But I mentioned a moment ago PBS Professional being the backbone. So that is the workload manager, the job scheduler that's available to launch your jobs on very small environments to very large environments. Going back to the customer chart that we showed there, and referencing NASA, well over 200,000 cores in their environment where PBS can handle and run that. So what we have done with the suite and stretching that, if you will, is a couple of different areas where we're in our next generation. And PBS Access, what is that? A couple of different tools for the end user that allows the computer scientist, the engineer to be just that, a computer scientist or a researcher rather, or an engineer to do just that, their engineering type of work without having to get into the command line and writing the scripts and such. That is still always is still available and always is going to be within PBS Professional. But Access has two approaches to be able to get your jobs to the HPC system. There's a desktop version where you have that loaded on the desktop. Right click to open Access, launch your job where we have an application definition that's been developed that wraps around the particular solver that you're using, deploys the job based on the policies and structure that you have set up within your organization. You receive a notification at your desktop that the job is running. When it's completed, same type of notification comes back. You can go in and visualize your results. You can also monitor the job while it's running. You don't have to wait for it to return. And then there's also a web-based version where you can launch that through a web portal as well, selecting your memory, the number of cores, and such. And we also have, from the administrator's viewpoint, PBS Control, and what that is hence the name, the control panel for the HPC administrator. So there's a handful of tools that are there. We're in about our third release of this new suite, and things are going quite strong with that. But PBS Control, what that includes is analytics tools, so looking at and harvesting information out of your accounting logs to be able to see how the system is being utilized, where there might be areas of concern, if there's jobs that are being ran and requesting massive amounts of wall time and they're finishing in a few minutes, gives you an opportunity to correct that type of stuff with a bunch of different charts, reports that you can share and collaborate with. There's also one thing that's really neat and seems to, outside of the cloud bursting that resides within there as well, and the cloud burst, of course, to everything that you see there, but is a workload simulator. So what we've done is, using the PBS scheduler, is we take a snapshot of your workload, and then we can run that through, or you as the end user can run that through the simulator, where you ask yourself questions or make changes to policies, maybe the types of nodes, adding additional nodes, changing to a different set, and what kind of impact that's going to have on the workflow. We've had a lot of cases where we've been able to make some really solid and strong recommendations, changing things up for our clients with them implementing the simulator in their environment. And then, as I mentioned, that is where cloud bursting resides, and real-time monitoring. So PBS Access capabilities, again, talked about that. So it's to simplify the process, to allow you to dispatch the job, again, from the desktop or through a web portal, have everything set up through an application services layer where the application definitions are developed. There's nothing for the end user to do other than the click from the desktop or through the web portal, and then remote visualization as well. So just being able to pixelate and scrape the data off of a GPU to be able to have remote sessions and collaborative type of sessions. Going back to PBS Control, again, our vision and the tool has been developed for the administrator's purpose and approach. So through, as you can see there, the single pane of glass, being able to monitor the system in real time, make corrections and fixes, health check, node monitoring, being able to output those reports. The workload simulator, again, to optimize your workflow and get the most out of the HPC environment. And then the cloud bursting. Within our cloud solution suite, what we have there is policies can be set up for you to where if there's certain types of jobs that require, of course, certain types of nodes, or certainly based on the workload for the bursting, PBS Cloud will recognize that. It'll burst the provision, set up the appliance in the cloud. Jobs can run, and then deprovisions everything so it doesn't stay up there spinning the meter on you. And simply, you know, with the type of graphical user interface being very, very slick and simplistically able to use. And again, though, the messaging being that you know, command line, that's not going away. There's people that require that, prefer that, need that, and so that's going to remain as well with these other tools for convenience sake. So Altair, again, running with SUSE. We are the only company that, and this helps answer the question as to why we make the middleware, being the PBS Works solutions. We develop the applications I talked about for modeling, simulation, structural analysis, and being an engineering consulting company, we're using these tools to generate revenue. So we understand the workflow process, the requirements from end users, and more than just a software vendor. So with that being said, I promised I would help you get some time back. And if you have any questions, we have multiple technical folks and resources over in our booth. I don't even know, booth number 2833, where we're doing a lot of different demos, overviews. Be glad to engage and discuss with you.